Rascal does not dream of Bunnygirl Senpai as an emotional roller coaster with no breaks. Its quickly entrancing premiere episode spirals into a nerve-wracking story in which any turn can be made. This is only enriched by the beautiful landscape, cinematic shots, and wonderful music throughout. The main cast is realistic, and you truly become immersed in this world where the characters are real, the people are real. It's not very often where I feel my heart shudder while watching anime, and yet here I was, at the edge of my seat, desperate for these imaginary characters to find their happy ending. At least, for the first 3 episodes. What's good, everybody? It's I Have No Friends, officially back after a hiatus. I've refrained from reading any comments or any reviews on the anime so I can stay as unbiased as possible, but as always, let's talk about what the show's about. We begin this story with our dead-eyed main character, Sakta, a high school student who sits on the left side of the classroom. While sifting through books in the library, he encounters a wild thought wearing a bunny costume. After confronting the aforementioned thought, she basically tells him forget about this, as if he has the mind of a fucking goldfish and can actually forget about this. It's later revealed that she's disappearing from everyone's perception due to a supernatural phenomenon called adolescent syndrome. Never heard of it? Neither have I, and that's where the fun begins. Holy fuck, that was a lot of syllables. One of the greatest elements of this story is the supernatural and how these people react to it. It adds an air of unpredictability and builds upon this intrigue as the story progresses. The blanket-clenching anxiety I got from wondering how the story resolves itself was no joke. Oh, you thought that shit about my heart stuttering was a joke? No, I looked down my body and thought, am I really laying shirtless worrying about made-up cartoon people? Yes, I was. I also love how realistically these people react to their world. For example, my sister's trying to fuck me? Ew! Ew! And also, these conversations seem genuine and sometimes lead nowhere. Much like actual conversations. The pacing is fantastic, the story is unique, and the premise is interesting. So where the fuck did we go wrong? After the first mini-arc, the show seems to almost forget what made the story so entrancing in the first place. While there's some conflict that takes place, there's never that sense of urgency and hopelessness that we got in the beginning of the show. After the first 3 episodes, I thought, wait, there's more? The second arc just felt forced and painful. I just wish that they somehow took the first major conflict of the story and managed to stretch it out for a whole season. That's what I was expecting to see. I mean, there's a lot to go off of, like maybe while uncovering the secrets behind Mai's predicament, you find out what happened in Sakta's past as well. And this isn't to say that the rest of the season's horrible, it's an okay series, maybe even way above average. It's just so juxtaposed by the first arc that it looks bad in comparison. It basically had its season finale on episode 3 followed by 10 episodes of OVA. I think the characters are this show's strong point. Our character is calm and collected, rarely making stupid decisions. He responds to things a lot like myself and probably a lot of other people do, which really immerses me in the story. Like saying no when his blood relative tries to fuck him. Then there's Mai, the love interest. I didn't realize this until my second watch, but holy fuck, she's so goddamn cute. She's a strong secondary character and really pleasant to watch. And then we have her. Well, I haven't read any comments. I've seen a shit ton of fan art for this character, so I know I might be digging my own grave, but the sister, oh my god, the sister. It's been a while since I've been so annoyed by a character that did nothing wrong, but get this. Basically, she goes through some trauma that makes her not want to leave the house, and this problem's relatively minor until the first arc ends, and then it starts pissing me off. It just doesn't make sense how everyone around her just lets her do whatever the fuck she wants with no intentions of helping her get better. She wears the same pajamas for at least 4 months that we know of, so I know that shit stinks, and she keeps trying to fuck her brother. She just annoys the fuck out of me, but you know what they say. One man's trash is another man's waifu, so let's move on. As I said before, the landscapes are beautiful and vibrant. Some of these background characters look really, really good. I mean, look at this dweeb. And when the show wants to get serious, there's these insane movie-like scenes. However, there seems to be a tremendous dip in quantity of these scenes as the show progresses. Although I said some of these background characters look good, a lot of the time they use these weird, janky CGI people that look really fucking distracting. And then we get to character design. You're not really getting anything different with these characters. I mean, look at him and his best friend. You could change their hair and eye color of his best friend and tell me he's the main character and I'd go, yeah, no shit. Even Mai herself looks like... I can't really put my finger on it, but she looks familiar. That's not to say there aren't gorgeous scenes. Some parts of the show are the most breathtaking shots I've seen this season, and they fit so well with the music you can feel it. Overall, the art is really good, but could use improvement in a lot of aspects. This is some of the best music I've heard in anime that I can remember. I'm listening to the soundtrack right now because because I can't fucking voice act and it helps me sound a little bit more emotional. The music complements the show extremely well, leaving a deep impression on me. I could actually listen to the soundtrack out of context and still enjoy it. In the first few episodes, it raises your tension and increases your attachment to the anime. However, the soundtrack is wasted in later episodes where the emotional impact just isn't there. In the beginning, the music was all I heard. Later, I only remembered the music was so good because I have to write a review for it. Overall, I'd say the music is amazing, perfect even, but it's eventually overshadowed by the shortcomings of the anime itself. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunnygirl Senpai is a complicated show for me to review. So much so that part of the reason I've been on 2-week hiatus was because I wasn't sure how to approach this. I have to say that I like the show and don't regret watching it. The atmosphere this anime exudes seamlessly transitions from sad to upbeat, the scenery is as beautiful as the music, and there's this incredibly realistic setting. But boy does that make it all the more painful when this story decides to take a downhill sprint after the first 3 episodes. As a whole, I gotta give this anime a 7.5 out of 10. I can't ignore that without the climactic introduction to the series, this show wouldn't be able to stand nearly as high. Fuck. So that's it. That's the review. If you agree or disagree with anything I said, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to have a discussion. I have no friends and I'm scared of dying alone. Peace out, guys.
僕は童貞だ